Hello, it's me. Hello, 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 hello. I feel like I always do this. Oh no, I'm signed out on a lot of my computers. Give me one sec. Oh no. Sign in again. Alright. Give me one sec. I didn't get hacked. But someone did try to sign into my Google account, which would be just absolutely devastating. That's actually not an Intel Mac, which is weird. You know, I have the kind of a Google thing set up, you know, two-factor authentication. So, of course, how two-factor works is it's something that you know and something that you have. And then there's something else, right? Isn't there like something you know, something you have, and then I don't know. Anyways, the notification it gave me for trying to sign in on my little M1 Mac here on the side was incorrect because it said it was an Intel Mac. Nope, that's actually ARM. That's neither here nor there. Hello, hello. Oh, geez. Hold on. Don't show this on stream. Ah. Okay. I need to have like I feel like I need to create like another screen region, or no, scene. I need to create another OBS scene that doesn't, basically it's something I can cut to so I can stop showing whatever's on screen. Give me one sec. Hide. Call it hide. So this is the hide scene. Do I have anything that I would like to just like display? Or you know what? We can just do one of these. Goodbye. No desktop capture, remove. We can probably work this out a little bit better. Oh, hello, boys, JK boys. Whichever one floats your boat. Hello, hello. Alright. There's a kid at my school that goes by Duck. Well, I can tell you that that's probably not me. It seems pretty sus, if you will. It's an imposter. There's an imposter among us. Etc., etc. Alright. So here we go. Oh, hello, Bangather. How are you doing today? Guess what I'm working on? I'm working on... This is an old game jam idea, rewritten in C#. Got a few things working so far. So, the idea is it's, you know, MMO-style, or I guess MOBA-style movement with MMO-style kind of skill rotations, etc. Right? And so we kind of have some of the code working right now. So let me see if I can rearrange everyone. I'm not sure if I like this super blocky art style, especially when it's blown up so big. But we're going for it. The idea, though, is that you're, you know, in MMOs, you try to optimize your skill rotations, yada yada. So you have uptime, downtime. So, and I guess MOBA style, you can switch between all of your... It's not really MOBA style, right? I guess it's just regular RPG style, action RPG style, where you can switch between all of your units, and then cast their skills, etc. And yeah, just try to maximize uptime, minimize downtime. And then there's also ways to kind of mitigate damage, since it's a deliberate design choice to only have your current, the front unit take damage. Everyone else is immune. And so in the original release, there were units that had movement skills that could jump them across the screen. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And I think in between the last stream of this, which was like a week ago. And now I did implement something kind of funny. And by funny, I mean like weird. And that's palette swapping. So you can kind of see here that there's only 4 colors on screen, which makes it really easy to palette swap. So this is palette swapping using a shader. Oh baby. And so there's a few shaders I have access to. I feel like the way I implemented it is kind of jank. But if it's jank and it works, is it still jank? And the answer is yes. It is still jank. So there's the palette swapper class. Utils, palette swapper, look at that. And all the palette swapper does is it has a color rect stretched across the entire canvas layer. And then we have kind of some presets here. And then we can switch these shader params via code. And so we go into this thing here. We have a palette swapper. Oh, did I actually write this in GDScript? Oh, I did. I wrote this in GDScript. What a madman. Shaders seem very cool. I've not been great at learning them. Yeah, they're tough. They're tough. It's an entirely different style of programming. Yeah. I mean, even this was kind of referenced off as someone else's palette swapper shader. I feel like mine is more efficient than others because other ones, like you can see here, it is like 4 chained if statements, right? However, it's not that bad as compared to, I guess, other people's implementations use a for loop, which I guess gives you a constant cost, but I feel like this is just more efficient because you can break out early. I'm doing my stuff in GDScript. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of done with GDScript for the most part. There's not too many instances where I feel like a class wouldn't help me, right? So you can see here I'm just using a bunch of classes in order to store data. But doing things in C#, it's just like, you know, you have the type safety, and you can make them. You don't have to make as many assumptions. You can just know, right? I feel like Godot 3.4's like GDScript implementation, we'll call it GDScript 1.0. The way classes are implemented is super shaky, especially for custom classes. That might just be like I'm a Java developer at my core, so duck typing, dynamic typing just feels kind of weird. Anyways, this is the toggle. There's not really a great way to switch now besides like just kind of manually setting these. Although this is fairly easy to, I guess, interact with, right? So I have the concept of, private functions and public functions almost the same as in a lower level language like Java or C#. So this is my API. So we have set base palette, which is just using an palette enum, swap palette, and then we have swap palette and then unswap palette, all that good stuff. So we can switch here. We'll just do our base palette is ice cream GB, and then our swap palette is Miss GB. And so I need to figure out like when I would ever want to use this, but I think it's pretty cool. So these are like the actual palette colors. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do with this is like maybe when you get into a certain type of situation, we'll say, like maybe there's a skill that like stops time. That might be pretty cool. And then like, time stop. Switch the palette. I need something like that. I don't know. I am trying to keep the color palette pretty limited though, since I'm not great at art. And I know that a bad color palette or a good color palette can make your, developer art look okay. But a bad color palette just looks like garbage. which is why I try to stick to very, very few colors. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where I ended off. I think the last place I ended up was just actually writing the palette script. Oh, you know what? I wrote it in GD script. I wrote this script in GD script because it just felt better setting the shader param like this. Otherwise, in C#, you have to do a lot of casting in order to actually set the shader param. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, so, you know, right after I said that I'm bad at art, let's do some art. Let's see, this is it. Abstract unit. You're making your own palettes? Oh, absolutely not. I understand the idea behind making palettes, but what I actually do is I use low spec. Do I have a... Nope, this is my only window. Hello, look at this. Let's log in. Please don't show my password. I believe my Twitter's connected to here. Nope. Probably my Google account. Please don't show my password on stream. Okay. You have failed me, low spec. Anyways, this is where I usually go to, and I sort by downloads. Let's just post a link in the chat. So, pretty much anything that Kerry Lake does is pretty good. And Desga also does pretty good palettes. So I would just peep anything they do. I think I'm just using a bunch of Kerry Lake palettes, I think. Let's see. Yeah, this is there. Kerry Lake, Ice Cream GB. There should be like a Mist GB somewhere else. Because it's pretty, yeah, they're pretty versatile. About the same color ramping. I don't know. If you're interested, I think I have something somewhere about color ramps. Somewhere, I don't know. Let's see. Let's open up a new one. I believe this one is a 32 by 32. So we'll duplicate this document so I can actually give the enemy kind of their own sprite. Oh yeah, let's duplicate it. Goodbye, abstract unit. Which is just like the base unit. I'll give this a save. Save as party rotation sharp. I don't know. Let's call this just like a chaser. Chaser is pretty good. So these are just enemies. Enemies. Let's call it chaser.pixel. We'll try to do this pretty quick, since this definitely is not my core competency. I forget, what are these layers? What is this layer? What is layer 1? Oh, very good. Good job, me. Alright, so on layer 1, let's opacity lower on layer 0. That didn't work. Layer 0, okay. Okay, cool. So the chaser is gonna look something like, let's block it out like that. Ooh, that's too big. 2. I don't know. It's kind of assuming kind of like a big head, kinda tiny legs. Big head, tiny legs. Look at that. It's beautiful. I love it. Ship it. And so this is the idle animation, and then for the running animation, we'll just grab one of the idle animation things. Alright, cool. So I'll erase the inside of it very carefully. And we'll just start coloring it in more or less, right? So, let's see. Fill that. Something like this. I love it. Local bald man is very angry. Give it one of these. So you want to avoid too much of these kind of like double pixels at the back, right? Boom, boom. Something like that. Let's switch these two. I believe this is lighter. Yeah. Okay, cool. That looks okay, I guess. Alright, grab this. Just move it down one. And that's now your idle animation. And so we can kind of see a playback here. Why is the playback kind of like, kind of messed up? No. This one. Yeah, see? There we go. Oh, hello? Wow, much Shiba. Very Doge. We're just making our first enemy, which is, we're just calling it a chaser for now. It's just an amorphous blob that just kind of gyrates up and down. Everyone loves amorphous blobs. All right, and now we're just gonna do like a very, very basic walk cycle. So something like this. Wah. And then just wah. More or less, yeah. Let's kind of try to shift these down as well. I don't know why. Maybe not. Whoop. Whoop. Get me out of here. Anyways, how are you doing today? What brings you to this stream? Are you interested in the idea? Perhaps you're just here to hang out. Any option is good. There are no wrong answers. Except for like the other wrong answers that are possible. Alright, hold on. Get rid of these, we don't need these. And slap this back into here. Look at that. Something like that. And it'll move the entire thing down one, so there's a fake a little bit of movement, because it's really only going to be, right, a two frame cycle for each animation for now. Because everything else is just going to kind of more or less materialize out of thin air. Oop, that's not the eraser. How does this look? Give me, this is the move, this is the walk cycle. Give me the, whatever this is. Gotta love onion skinning. I don't know what this is. Alright, cool. Something seems wrong about this, but it's hard for me to pinpoint what. You know what? Isn't that when you're drawing eyes, the lighter part should be on the outside? Is that it? I don't know. How does that look? That looks okay. Probably should make like the eyebrows kind of like gyrate a bit more, I guess, right? So something like this. Nope, not that color. Give me this color. Boom. Something like that. I love it. Okay, send it, ship it. He's so good. How does he do it every single time? Where did my animation go? Alright, it's beautiful. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. Chaser. This is in... not this directory. This needs to be in enemies, and we'll just call it Chaser. Yeah. Send it. We'll go back to Godot. Main display, this is just the combat screen, and it's using a bunch of test entities for now. This is the enemy Chaser. Not as you know it though. So we're gonna change the texture out. And you know, I was doing a lot of reading up, and as it turns out, the way to do like pixel perfect games in Godot is actually pretty jank, right? To kind of explain what I'm talking about, right? You see here that you actually need to set your width and your height to kind of a pixel size, an expected pixel size. And then after that, you want to blow it up to the actual window height. And then, of course, stretch mode needs to be viewports, so it's the same size of whatever viewport it's showing. Then the aspect ratio, I actually cannot figure that out. So what you want to do is use aspect ratio keep. If you do aspect ratio expand, you might get some weird oddities, but at least your mouse positioning, your mouse coordinates will still be pixel perfect. If you use keep and you resize your window to something that isn't like supported, you don't account for it, then your mouse positioning will actually be offset. By a slight amount, and I'm not really sure how to solve for that. I do already have some code that tries to solve for that. Let me see. Yeah, it's right here. This just abomination. So we do, position to get viewport, get mouse position. Okay, you can probably cache the viewport now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, let's actually cache the viewport. Where do we want to put this? Private list, blah blah. Scale factor, yeah, private viewport, and then we do need to grab the, I guess the containing viewport. We might need to recreate it every single time as well. Let's do viewport is equal to get viewport. And that's just our viewport, so we don't need to do this call every single time. That's a micro optimization. Don't do that, kids. That probably solved me, or that probably saved me like 0.0001 frames in the long run. Amazing. So pretty much nothing. Get mouse position, scale factor, and then you can see here that I actually make a call to screen resize to kind of set my scale factor and then the half of viewport size. Because if I don't make that call, I think it'll the viewport I think I will have will be about the size of a very tiny rectangle, aka like the 300 by 200 whatever size it was. And so you can see that this still works whenever I resize the screen as well, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen if it resizes to a, or I know what will happen if I resize to a screen resolution that I don't support. It still works, but I'm not sure how that should interact with my game. So I feel like I need to figure that out eventually, but in due time, in due time. Anyways, let's do this stuff. So the idle animation, that's pretty easy. It's one of these, and then one of these. So we always have, so we have an abstract enemy unit, well, actually just an abstract unit, right? Abstract units don't have any animations attached to them. Neither does this one. Interesting. Oh, right, because you can't do that. I forgot. Otherwise, because of like node inheritance, it will never let you override the existing animations, which is a bit annoying. So you have to define animations on the implementing class. Yeah, that's one of the gotchas in the Godot's inheritance structure. Not looking forward to resolution settings and all that stuff like that. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's not something I've ever really needed to think about. But then I decided, like, what if I just try to make this pixel perfect? And here we are. It was just an entire rabbit hole in and of itself. Very painful. There we go. So these two need to repeat. Look at that. You know what? I think there's a bit of charm in the sprite looking like it's cross-eyed. And then we have move. Actually, we can jack this up to be, or jack this down to be like 0.4, right? Yeah. Right now, just doing everything with 1080. My UI sub is just set up to and has like no scaling and stuff, so I'm sure everything in that would break. Yeah, you know, UI scaling is really difficult, actually. Yeah. I think for just normal gameplay, you know, if you're doing, I know that you're working on like the 3D space game. So like all your inputs and whatever should be fine. However, when you try to scale up your UI to different resolutions, I'm pretty sure your UI will stay the same size. Just be really, really spaced out, which will be a bit jarring. Unless you do some fancy stuff with this. I can send you, well, I can't really send you anything. I don't know where it is anymore, but it was some stuff on Reddit about like UI scaling. It's just, this part is the important part to take note of. Where mode, aspect, and then test width and test height, I think. I think that's fairly important. And I think there was something else I needed to change in rendering, but I don't remember. Oversampling off, that's, I don't know. Let's see if I can try to remember. Anyways, I think that looks pretty good. And so, abstract unit, each unit kind of has its own physics process, more or less, or at least player units. Let me see, where's my player unit? Player line, that's not what we want. Let's see, units, blah blah, abstract player units. Gotta love deep inheritance. So each player unit handles its own sprite flipping, and their state management is almost non-existent because we don't really have any states other than animation states. Right, there is no jump state. You can pretty much action out of anything besides, as long as you kind of abide by, there's something here. Actually, no. I'm pretty sure, oh yeah. I think I made a conscious decision that I have also just completely forgotten, that you can action out of any skill. Because the point is not to kind of test your, I guess commitment to a skill. It's more just to test your ability to flip through many units and then use as many skills as possible, as quickly as possible. Yeah, you know what? That's pretty good. And then the enemy chaser, where is it? Abstract attack, abstract enemy unit. Where is the chaser? Enemy chaser. Slap you over here. You don't have any custom logic, so that means that you're just inheriting from abstract enemy unit. And then we have various state things here. Is state locked? Yeah. So enemy units have states, but that's because they kind of have to commit, but that's very, very simple. Pretty much if the enemy's doing an attack and they have like some sort of wind up animation, they should not try to switch their states while they're still doing the attack. Otherwise, they'll never attack, basically. They'll never finish the attack. Now I need to think. So we have the various states here. So we have enemy states, idle, move, chase, attack, and I suppose we do need to have like enemy killed, the enemy killed state. Physics process, handle states. So we do all of this. Yeah, break out case logic into virtual functions. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Enemy move. So I wonder. You know what? Let's just try to do this. And by this, I mean we'll just hard code the state to be chase so that the enemy will just try to chase the player. Because I think right now, right, you can kind of see here that the enemy defaults to just sitting there to start. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad, I think. And then when we flip the stuff, yeah, see, it's moving very. I wonder if it's moving at all. We can circle around him. Doesn't do anything right now. That looks okay, and we can add more. Whatever. Is it because the speed is like 0? What's the speed? 20F. What is the player speed? Abstract player unit. Move speed. Oh yeah, it's it's because it's too slow. Okay, let's just make this 100F, and then hopefully we'll be able to, well, 1. Enemy chase. Yeah, so we can override these. And then we can we can override them multiple times. Yeah. That's tough though, because the base process function is just abstract unit process, and then this one is how we handle, I guess, your currently displayed health bar value. So you can kind of see here that there is like an actual health bar that displays pixel perfectly, I might add, and doesn't use any of custom assets from me, which I thought was pretty cool. I think it's nearly pixel perfect at least. So physics process. Yeah. What if I just do this? Grab all of this. Enemy chaser. And we'll do public override void. Hello. You're not gonna give me code completion, huh? Please, I desire code completion. Public override void. Okay, there we go. Alright. So we'll just hit it with one of these. Yeah, I think that should work. Nope, hard crash. Null reference. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. 14. So 14, move and slide. So it's probably complaining about line current units. Interesting. So that implies that it's not running the super ready function, maybe? So abstract units should all get a reference to the line, right? So the line contains player units, and then everything just kind of has read access to that line, more or less. All right, let's call base ready. So yeah, there we go. Send it. That should work. Ah, every time. What is this? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. 19. Alright, let's start it from here. Set a breakpoint. I believe my C# debugger should be running. Yeah, there we go. And so this is very nostalgic to me. I used to have to do this for work. Right, I had a little Java debugger. I was really against using Eclipse for everything. So instead I've decided to torture myself like this. So there's a line. Oh, current unit is null. So we do have the line, but the line does not have a unit yet. Oh, hello, Aloe Zingy. How are you doing tonight? This is pretty weird. This is pretty weird. Right. That's pretty weird. I don't really have an answer for that. So this thing is currently null. Because presumably this function has not been called yet. Alright, well, what if we just do one of these? Get rid of this. No code implemented. Do we actually get any errors in the regular application? No. So we just need to like wait a little bit. Is that it? So we can do like a while. While what? While line. Current unit is null. We'll just hit it with oh no. Have they extended the C# in Godot to compile to all platforms? I believe so. So it should just work pretty much everywhere. I actually found out someone recently that it also works when compiling to WebAssembly, but I think it's been working on Windows, Linux, and Mac for a little bit. I don't do any mobile development, so I can't speak to that. Yeah. I think it does work on all platforms. We can Google it right now. Let's Google it. We'll ask our almighty overlord Google Godot C# export. Just more curious. Well, you have piqued my curiosity for now. Isn't it hold on. Isn't it export? Export? No, export? Exporting for, well, no. This is probably not it, right? Go back to here. Is it C# features? No. I forget. Well, it has a bunch of defines, right? So it must hopefully work, who knows? X11, Windows, OS X, Android, iOS, HTML5. Sounds pretty good to me. Maybe under exporting? Possibly. I didn't really see anything related to for mono, or is there mono? Exporting projects. I've read this at some point, but I forget what it said. No, there's probably a better Google search. Godot C# HTML5, and then that should give me something. Exporting for exporting for web C#. Export types other than regular are not yet supported by the C# version. Okay, well, I suppose you just would need to look at this. Nope, nothing here. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. Godot Sharp Editor, Godot Tools. Projects can be exported to Linux, Mac OS, Android, iOS, and HTML5, but not yet to Universal Windows platform. Yeah, I don't really know where this is. Who knows? I feel like I've seen it before. But let's not get too distracted. Let's make this a public async, and then we'll just... Oh, wait. Async is not valid for this item. Oh, I put on the wrong thing. Public async. Sorry for the distraction. No, it's fine. I'm not insulted. Just disappointed. Thank you very much for the follow, Alex Hicks. No, that's pretty much just me in a nutshell, though. I get very distracted. That's kind of why I like streaming programming. I pretty much only stream programming. Or actually, it's not pretty much. I do only stream programming because I think streaming kind of puts a more... It's like people are now judging me if I get too distracted. Whereas, you know, if I'm not streaming, no one's watching, I can just goof off as much as I want. Something like that. To signal get tree. And I think it's idle frame. One of these. This should work. Haven't touched Godot myself. Unity dev by day, and then I make my own engine in part of my spare time, so I haven't had a chance yet. Ooh, making your own engine in Unity. Well, I think Unity's a fine engine, you know? I did Unity for a little bit, but I wasn't a huge fan of, I guess, how prefabs work. Because if I remember correctly, and I feel like I say this every time, and I never remember the answer, but it's... If you cannot nest like prefabs, right? So you cannot have prefabs extend other prefabs. Oh, you can now? Oh baby. How is the input system? Because I know that back in like 2019 when I was still doing Unity, they had like a new input module that was recommended to be used, but it's like couldn't find a way to... there were no docs for it. It was just like, this is how you use it. I was like, yeah, that's cool, but like, how do I extend it with my own inputs? Yeah, my own engine in C++, ooh. C++ scares me. I cannot be trusted, more or less. It's weird how this is not working though. Override, void. So we'll just... I shouldn't need to do this for these. It should just automatically call it on the Godot object. Just custom work for our games. I believe the new system is still very beta though. Is it really a new system if it's been out for like 2 years? Oh, you know what? I've just got it. Let's take all this out. Let's not mess with this for now. I know what the problem is though. I can see it. Is this part. Right here. So this should not be nested. Look at that. And then this one as well. This should not be nested. I only use C++ in my engine to support as many platforms as possible outside the standard desktop ones. Newest system. Is there a newer system for Unity input? Like I know that there was a module, and then you can also just use the standard like poll for inputs. And then I think when I was doing my own game engine developments, I was... Oh geez. He's so fast. He's like a squid. And then he just kind of stops. Because the animation doesn't change. That's a bug. Well, anyways, let's start adding attacks, because it more or less works. And we can... Let's see. Let's change the move speed to like something more manageable, like 40. Why did you choose Godot for a MOBA? Well, so it's MOBA style, MMO style. So what I'm actually working on is this. Let me drag this over. How many windows do I have open? So I wrote this for a game jam. I think the module is the newest still. There's an even newer input module. That's crazy. Yeah, but when I was doing some game engine development myself, I was doing it in Rust for WGPU because the idea of C++ still scares me. And also I hate the build system, but that might just be me. Yeah. But yeah, it's not really a MOBA Tuesday evening, it's more of a, I guess it's an MMO style thing where you have skill rotations and you need to maintain uptime on as many things as possible. So you have skills that can reduce cooldowns, you have teleports. I call it a deliberate design decision to only have your lead unit take damage. And so when you have movement skills, you can kind of jump away. And then you can, I guess, strategically dodge by switching to a previous unit while they're still trying to catch up to you. And yeah, so you have damage. And then you just need to somehow optimize everything as much as you can. And so, of course, the UI is pretty bad, but it was a game jam game, in my defense. Yeah. Rust is pretty fun. Rust is okay. Rust is okay. You know, I'm a Java developer, more or less. Yeah. In my day job, Java, Golang, Python. I am interviewing for a new place that is, they say that they do Rust, which I'm interested. And they were impressed when I did their code challenge in both Python and Rust. Not to brag or anything, but you know. The company even chose Rust only for its build system and package management. Yeah, see, that's kind of why I was interested in Rust. It was like, this is basically like C++ level performance, but I don't need to worry about like linkers or whatever. That's crazy. Like I love a good package management system. Like Maven's okay, you know, Java style. NuGet is much better. I've never used Gradle for Java, so I can't comment on that. But Rust is pretty good. Cargo is sick. Golang used to be really bad at it though. For sure, before like Go mod was like standardized, right? Alright. Conan is good with something like Cargo is Godsend. Well, yeah, compared to C++, right? So, like, there's like Conan for some build systems. I know Google likes to use Bazel, which I guess is not really a package management system. That's more of a build system, but it does some weird stuff. I've been looking to trying to figure out Bazel because, you know, for this program here that I also wrote. Free and open source, by the way, OpenCPHGD, you can find it on my GitHub down below. I am trying to integrate other tracking backends into that. So Google has MediaPipe, but it uses Bazel, the Bazel build system. I don't really understand it. And also, the stream avatars thing, which I also made in Godot. Look at that. Just send them. Let's make me a duck. Look at that. Also made in Godot, also free and open source on my GitHub down below. What tracking are you using currently? It's using something called OpenCFace. So you can see here that I just called it OpenCFaceGD. It's a very original name. Please don't steal. You know, oh, actually, you know, that reminds me, I was supposed to cut a new release of this today. But I didn't. Oh, sorry, device. Oh, it's using just my webcam. Yeah. And so that's kind of what I want to... That's kind of the idea behind the project. Is that it's webcam only. MediaPipe is also webcam only. Yeah, so there's... Let's see. All right, let's get distracted again. Check this out. Hopefully it doesn't break. Aha. Well, I guess my neck broke, but that's about to be expected. Check it out. I'm now an anime girl. Very bright, by the way. Let's turn it down. Yeah, look at that. Hello? It works. That part always scares me. This part always scares me. Anything to do with presets. In theory, these are rock solid, but sometimes things just break, and I don't really know why. Yeah, so I am working on a successor to this. So any like new tracking backends are going into a new project, but that's still in progress. So the things like eye facial mocap, someone's actually working on that. Yeah, this is all made in Godot, by the way, using GD script no less. It is starting to run into a performance bottleneck though, since it is like a face tracker, right? You do need to update multiple times, or not even multiple, many times per frame, or many times per second, not many times per frame. So I think for performance, since I'm streaming right now, I have the tracker set to just track my face at 12 frames per second, and then I kind of fill in the in-betweens. You know, simple stuff like that. All right, this needs to have, let's slap a sprite onto this. So this is an abstract sprite, or abstract attack, and then we need to attach a sprite to it. So let's go back to this. This is our chaser. We don't really care about him, because he's more or less done. How rigged do the models need to be? All right. This is another chance for me to show off. Well, that's gonna take a little bit. I don't really have any other models on hand. But you can kind of see here. Let's go back to the duck. We'll load in the duck again. Break our necks. That's still kind of a tracking bug. Because whenever you load in a new model, it deletes your offsets. So the tracking offsets are actually like, when it looks like my neck is broken, those are actually the raw tracking data that's being applied to the model. So we need to offset it by some amount. Anyways, you can kind of see here that the duck is pretty simple. All you really need is a head bone and then like a root bone. So you can add other things to be tracked. Like I guess this one. Let's see. Apply translation. Ooh. I can't tell if it's working or not. Is it the chest? Yeah, the chest. So as long as you have some bones, so you need like, I guess a model wide bone and then at least one bone that should be your head, it should work, I think. So I used to have like an old tank model, so you do need to like manually define your head bone, because your head bone has, I guess, no dampening attached to it, more or less. And yeah. Do you mark the eyes as well? So what do you mean mark the eyes? So I didn't write the tracker, but the tracker does give me eye data. So that's why you kind of see like blinking kind of works here. Expressions are all manual for this model. Yeah, so I do have eye data. Yeah, I see the matrix. So is it a texture change? Yeah. So this, since it's written in Godot, right? What you could do is just go into Godot, create a new scene, add a new script, and then, it's in theory more customizable than other tracking solutions out there. So I mean, this is the repository over here. He says as he does it off screen. Yeah. So check this out. So these are the entities. This is the model script. So this is our duck. It just inherits from our basic model script. And so we can see here that we're just, it's very, very like hard-coded. So we have expression types. The expressions are all just kind of handled via, an animation player. And then custom updates. So if we are not blinking, and if our data says that our left eye is less open than our blink threshold, then we'll blink our eyes. Otherwise, we'll unblink them. Right, and then similarly for the anime model. So this doesn't use my library, this uses someone else's VRM loading library, but I did modify it a little bit to work for, dynamic runtime applications like this. Yeah, please ignore the folder structure, by the way. This program has gone through a lot of changes. I did write it entirely on stream though, which is or almost entirely on stream, which is pretty neat. Yeah, so the VRM loading thing kind of already gives me all of the necessary blend shapes. So these are actually modifying the mesh, and then I just kind of try to assume what you're trying to do. So if your mouth is open, I try to modify this blend shape. If your eyes are closed, I try to modify these blend shapes, and then I believe there are just bones attached to the eyes. Yeah. So I just rotate the eyes kind of manually according to some clamp value. So I was looking to replace my webcam with something like what you have, so I'll have to check out the GitHub. No, I mean the webcam should just, as long as you have a webcam, it should just work, right? Pretty much any webcam works. I think a fisheye webcam might not. If you have one of those really wide angle webcams, that might not work as well. But it's hard for me to say because I only have one webcam. Yeah, there we go. I mean, replace my webcam image with a digital creation. Oh baby, yeah, that could work. Yeah, I mean, if you go to what's the 3D image 3D model place where you can download like more or less free models. What's it called? Sketchfab. Yeah, if you can find like a free and open source model on Sketchfab that already has bones, it should just work. Although they do need to be GLB files, GLB or .vrm. So VRM is like kind of the humanoid format for whatever. Might just make my own. Oh baby. Yeah, I made the duck, so it's possible. Just remember that since it is real time, if there are too many polygons, it's gonna be really slow. So I wrote most of that on like a laptop that only had I say only had, it was a 2060. But you know, I needed to bring a lot of the models down to below 10,000 triangles, 10,000 tries. Otherwise, you know, it would be slideshow quality, slideshow tier. Which, not the best, not the best. Similar to game models, yeah, basically, yeah. Similar to game models. Except we are applying a few more transformations on top of that. Which, I don't know. I suppose it is just similar to game models, yeah. Try not to get too snobby about it, yeah. It is pretty much just a game model. With the added back-end requirements of, so like I can show you my task manager. So I believe the face tracker, yeah, the face tracker is CPU bound. Or is it? Yeah. Face tracker is CPU bound. So if you don't really have a super beefy system and you try to set the FPS too high, you'll also see some slowdowns. I do just default your FPS to 12 though, so 12 FPS is usually good enough. I think I could actually restart the face tracker and just run it at 2 FPS, and it should still look okay. Possibly. Got a fat i9 should be okay. Oh baby. Something like that, and then we'll just draw a question mark. This is the default image. I think I did this in the wrong order. That's okay. There we go. I think I'm just gonna put all my attack sprites in the same thing. Yeah. And you know what? I was talking so much. Time to listen and work on my deck builder for my game. Oh, deck builders. I'm interested. I've thought about making a deck builder. I don't have enough, I think, game design experience in order to, I think, make something decent, unfortunately. So that's why I work on this other stuff. Lots of random stuff. Yeah, save this. Let's see, entities. I'm trying to mimic the folder structure for a lot of this. So these are attacks. Oh, and I can just expand the sprite sheet if I need to. Yeah. Should be fine. So let's call this just attacks, I guess. This is just the giant attacks sprite sheet. And we can always break it out later. Alright, so we'll just use the default for now. Textures, load, VS Code, assets. Oh, I just have this, yeah. Oh, I forgot to export it. Send it. Overwrite without asking, yes. So we have a bunch of attacks. How many? No, this is bothering me. I've messed with the document for some reason. I don't remember why I messed with the document, but this needs to be, resize the canvas. Needs to be 8 by 6, yes, 8 by 6. So re-export, send it. There we go. Yeah, I've been making a multiplayer card collecting game mixed with some curling in my spare time outside of work. Are you doing it in Unity or in your custom game engine? And will you be throwing it into the cloud, making it cloud native, throw it onto the blockchain? That's what's spicy today. This one's in Unity, while my next game is 100% my custom engine. Ooh. I'm intrigued. No blockchain. Yeah, sounds good to me. Actually, I feel like if you're doing like in-app purchases, I feel like that might be a potential, like an actual potential use of blockchain, as opposed to whatever NFTs are or whatever. You know, let's start dunking on blockchain stuff. I have a very poor view of blockchain because most of them just don't make any sense. But all right, you know what? Let's not rile up the blockchain crowd. Speaking as someone who has created an application on the Ethereum testnet, I think it's silly. That's all I'll say. So this is our abstract attack. Let's see, what do we want to do here? Abstract attack. How did this work? I think I just instanced things in. So, and we had a few attacks. Yeah, okay. I'm not making any sense because I'm not I'm not finishing any of these sentences properly. But bear with me. So we'll call this like spear attack. Yeah, since we're so unknown, it's free to play with the buying of cosmetic items and a pass to help with server costs. Ooh. That's fair enough. Fair enough. Free to play is a valid business strategy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't work on my company deals in open source, so it's like I get it. This is like we'll call this spear thrust. I actually don't really know how I want to structure attacks. So if we go back to the Game Jam game, which is what I was kind of clicking through here. What did I call this? Oh, I called it party rotations. All right, so this is the open source one that I wrote for the Game Jam. And you can kind of see here that each unit kind of just has its own attacks, right? So each player unit doesn't really have its own movement logic, but they do implement their own skill logic. Unfortunately, Godot does not have access to like true abstract classes like C# does. Or like, I guess, interfaces. Pretty much anything is very Python-like. But I kind of just, define each text seen individually in each file, and then so like grasping roots for this whatever. Let's go. I'm implementing a spearman, so let's do this really quick. So thrust, the long range spear thrust in a given direction, and so I kind of randomize which spear, and I store every single possible spear in its own instance. But I'm trying to remember, how did this work? So each attack. Oh, okay. So thrust doesn't actually have a script attached to it. It just uses the base attack script. Oh, okay. You know what? I remember now. How did I come up with this during a game jam? That's actually a good idea. Good job, me. Yeah, so every attack just looks for something to enter its area, and then it calls the received damage. So your attacks, I guess, look for defenders. Defenders do not look for attacks. Otherwise, you would be double counting. We're looking to enter early access before the end of the year, so fingers crossed, because I have pushed it back twice now. Oof. Well, you know what they say, you can only, what do they say? I had the quotes, and then I said, I kind of stumbled over, you know what they say, and then I just lost my entire train of thought. Was it, you only make a first impression once? That doesn't sound right. You can only release once? Something like that. Very rapidly losing credibility in my speaking abilities. Alright, hold on. Let's drag this to my other screen. And so I can flip between these two things. So this is an area 2D, and it's connected via... Yeah. Connected via... Oh, this should not be body entered. It should be area entered. Anyways, I wish you a good luck on entering early access. Hopefully you can make it. Is there like a... Can I ask if there's a reason for the delays? Is it because like you had to rework stuff? Or is it because, you know, just stuff wasn't working? Like, is it like game design related, or is it just like stability? Are you trying to like create assets? If those are things that you can answer. So if body is in group, target group. Target groups. Okay. And not collided units contains. Neither actually. Oh, so there's other factors at play that I haven't even considered in the roughly like 2 seconds I gave to consider it. Let's think of more options. So if it's not game design, it is not technical, and it's probably not asset related, but neither implies two choices. More visible damage, play impact sound. This looks right. Because I work on it in my spare time. The list of X needs to be done wasn't done yet. Most of it was upgrades to the new UI style and design. Oh baby. Oh, talking about UI style and design. That's something that also bit me in the butt pretty heavily for this program. Because this used to just be using the base Godot theme, and then every single UI element was more or less like kind of hard-coded in how it worked, which was, you know, it worked when there was only just like this screen, and then I added the model and then the tracking screen, and I was like, you know what, that's pretty good. And then I added 3 more, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't gonna scale at all. I need to rewrite everything. Anyways, so I feel you. The UI, if you don't pay attention to it, can really screw you up. let's see, visible damage, we don't need any of that. Oh, actually, no, this is it, right? Yeah, okay. We just do like a hard cast, because we can assume that if it's within, you know, one of these target groups, so so on area entered. So if we look at this, we have a collision shape. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, because this is we can't do that on that yet. So because this is a collision shape, and we're checking for areas that enter it, maybe we want body entered, huh? You know what? What are these? What? I think I changed something I shouldn't have changed. This is a kinematic body. You know what? I changed something I shouldn't have. This should be body entered. Good job, me. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. That's what you get for, that's what happens when you don't work on something for an entire week. You just forget how it works. Entirely. Good thing I do game UI as my day job then. Ooh. A UI designer. Or a UI programmer. Or both. Do you do both the design and the programming of the UI? Alright. I can't see it. Show like this. I suppose I should just grab it. Nope, not like that. That's roughly 16. Looks good to me. Yeah, I don't... On my day job, I don't do like any UIs. The most UI related thing I do is kind of like terminals, like CLI type stuff. Spear thrust. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to keep the same design. So you have pretty much all your attacks. So any unit could theoretically use any attack, which might be a bit weird. But considering that each, I guess, player unit needs to implement their own attacks, because these are all virtual functions, I think that makes sense. I do the programming, and then I also work on overarching systems surrounding non-gameplay system elements. Non-gameplay elements. So that would be possibly networking, possibly non-gameplay elements. I don't know, would like does networking fall under gameplay? Server infrastructure. Art. Asset. Pipeline. Spear thrust. You know what? It should be pretty easy to do this really quick. Grab this. So make sure. So in Godot, everything faces to the right by default. So this is our spear. Oh, messed that up. Something like this, and we'll draw in a better pommel in a little bit. Boing, boing, boing. Something like that. Kind of messed it up. That's not bad. It's not good. Store, plugin, etc. Tools, lots of thighs, things. I'm assuming that's things. It looks like thighs when you just glance at it. So, you know, bonk, etc., etc. So let's hit it with one of these. Boom, boom. So I'll make the tip of the spear lighter for whatever reason. Maybe not, right? Since it's an attack, it needs to be extra visible. So we'll do something like this. A little bit of cross-hatching there, and then... that looks okay, I guess. Yeah, I remember when I was a bit younger, I wanted to do more. I wanted to go into like game programming. Then I was like, wow, programming is really tough. So I gave up on that. Decided I just wanted to make a bunch of money instead. So I tried to do more. I tried to be an actuary, if you're familiar with what those are. So actuarial science. Then realized like, wow, I'm really bad at like actually crunching numbers. Like I'm really good at. This is also slightly off, by the way. I wonder how this will display, because it is pixel perfect. But I don't usually work in sprites. But for whatever reason, I decided to do sprites for this one and make it pixel perfect. But yeah, it was very good at like very high level statistics. So like, think like, you know, college level like intro to stats class, but they don't give you the calculator. They just give you a basic 4-function calculator to do all your statistics. Now that was tough. Really, really enjoyed that class, but also realized too late that I was really good at it. I was like, ah, wow. That's unfortunate. And then I, you know, pivoted to just regular business, taught myself programming, and here we are. Well, I suppose I already knew Python, but you know. Turns out programming pays more than just being a desk jockey, right? You know what? I think I can just change this to be like a rectangle and nothing would be lost. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, please. Extents. Let's make this 5. And then we can make it, let's make it 4. And then we can make it slightly longer, 14, something like that. And then, you know what? 16, why not? Oh, that's not, very bad at numbers still. Very bad at reading numbers. Reading comprehension with respect to numbers is very bad. And I'll accept that as a personal failing. I wonder what's going on here. So and I focus more on gameplay and stuff, but it's just me and an art buddy. I used to do everything outside. I need to do everything outside the character art. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does pay a bit more. So now, day job, just do DevOps. Because it feeds into both of my, I guess, core competencies, which is, you know, political maneuvering in a business sense, and then also a little bit of programming. Little bit of programming, not too much. All right, so let's go to, I think I think I just create a bunch of player spearmins at the very start. I'm trying to remember, how does player unit line instantiate things in? So let's see, public abstract, where's our combat screen? Yeah, combat screen just instances in a bunch of spearmins. Yeah. Okay. So let's go player spearmin, and then we need to hit it with is it a protected override void? Please, sir, I would like code completion. Skill. Protected override. Skill 1. Not a lot of people do DevOps as well. Yeah, well, it's one of the, or it was one of the really, I guess, more hotter professions for a little bit. I guess nowadays it's fairly common, at least in terms of, I guess, because I'm a consultant, right? I consult for a big professional services, so like professional consultant. I'm not independent contractor. Someone else handles my contracts for me. So work for a big open source company that handles all these kind of weird specializations, like Jenkins on OpenShift or Kubernetes, whatever you want to call it. lots of fun. Protected. Alright, so protected. Well, I think we can just preload everything in. So we'll hit it with a private. That's tough. What is this? This is an abstract attack. Hello? Oh, right. Because we need to do using party rotations, entities, attacks. There we go. So private, abstract attack, and then this is spear thrust, and then in our ready function we'll need to do public. So when I have a Kubernetes questions, I come to you. Got it. Well, hey now. First I need you to sign this release waiver, just in case anything breaks. And then also I'll have my lawyer send you over my consulting contracts. Hello, it's me, Tim's lawyer. Here is the consulting contract. Spear thrust is equal to GD load. So this should be a packed scene. Yep, packed scene, and then we'll just kind of throw in the string. I do love me raw strings. Oh, and then we need to, oh, actually, packed scene, yeah, because we don't want to instance it in just yet. Otherwise, we'll have just, that'll just be a memory leak. Yeah, well, unfortunately, when you're doing DevOps on top of Kubernetes, you don't really touch the underlying container implementation too often, right? Most of the time, you're just using the pre-built solution, and then you're customizing the kind of failover rate, whatever. And so, somewhat amusingly, without going too much into detail about the specific company, it's like sorry, distracted right now, looking at some code. It's a container, it's a DevOps solution deployed on a container solution in order to automate a meta solution for infrastructure. So, software infrastructure, baby. And so it all kind of feeds into itself. It's a big Ouroboros kind of loop. So this will be spear thrust. You know what? This is just abstract attack. Transitioning my game server to run on a cluster, but was having trouble calling a specific Kubernetes command outside the cluster, so I put it away for a bit and we'll come back to it. Specific Kubernetes command outside the cluster. Do you have the correct access rights? Do you have... Well, yeah, it's pretty much just access rights, right? If you're trying to call commands, if you're not trying to feed in, like, data. I was gonna say, like, have you set up, like, your ingress routes correctly, but if you're just trying to call a command, it's probably not that. But it might be, I don't know. It's always a difference of terminology. Alright, so this is our attack. We do need to do some randomizations. So to do randomize the attack, question mark. And then I believe abstract attacks have a target group. Yeah, target group that they look for. So we'll do attack dot target group is equal to, do I have access to group? Yep. So we're just more or less hard coding all of the values for the player units because, I mean, we could make something a bit more robust, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to. And if we need to, I mean, I do have the inheritance structure to allow for that. I'll figure it out. It's like it's third-party library command. Probably do something dumb. Haha. Possibly. You never know. You never know. Is it the library's fault or is it your fault? The programmer's conundrum. I run into that problem constantly. It's like, did I mess up? Or is this just the fault of whoever set up the server? And I'm gonna be honest, sometimes it's the server's fault. Sometimes it's the server's fault. Like for example, like I work with a lot of Ansible, so Ansible is used for infrastructure automation. It's very similar to Chef or Puppet. You might have heard of Chef or Puppet in the news because they're being used by the DoD to like set up like drone clusters, drone control clusters or something like that. Angle to point, global position. But yeah, so I was, you know, trying to figure out what was going on with my code that was running in the pipeline. Because we're doing some kind of like custom lints on, you know, some files, blah, blah, blah. And as it turns out, even though they said that they had, you know, the vendor provided libraries, they actually did not have the vendor provided libraries. Well, it was the vendor provided libraries, but then someone went in and just like deleted a few files for whatever reason. But it still works somehow. I'm not sure. I still to this day still don't understand why it works or how it works, but like there's just some files missing for some reason. So sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it's not. Sometimes things just happen. So, am I saying that programming is magic? I make no statements. It's possible. Wait a minute, I can't do that. Yeah, hold on. I made a mistake. So this data needs to be... Yeah, it needs to be a dictionary. Okay. So data will equal... Let's not do anything. So in my original code here, I'm taking like really hard advantage of duck typing. So this is just untyped in GDScript. So sometimes it's just a vector2, sometimes it's a dictionary. Okay, so now I need to figure out a way to do this in C#. So this, we'll just call this data, and this will be equal to a new Godot collections dictionary. A dictionary of a string to a vector2. One of those, and then we'll set data, global position, or I guess it's just position, right? Position is equal to global position. And then data is equal to data. There we go. I had to do that with the base Lua library for the engine to compile on mobile. So you just had to go in and tweak it. So you say that you had all the necessary libraries. This is Lua, but actually though. Do you have to use Godot collections, or can you use the one in system? So the reason why I'm using the Godot collections is because this actually allows me to still do duck typing. This still allows me to duck type, I think. Because I believe the system one, right? So if you're using like system collections, isn't it? Like I actually don't do too much C# day to day. But if you're using like a dictionary, right? All your values need to be, you know, something like that, right? So that they need to be like that. So you cannot just be like string to whatever you want, right? I suppose there are other libraries in C#. I don't know. Is there another collection object I'm not thinking of that lets you just have whatever you want? Right, because right now, right, I want to pass in a vector2, but sometimes I just want to pass in a float. And so, like, this is just kind of my data thing. So most times it doesn't matter, but sometimes it does matter. Very Flash ActionScript like. No, fun fact, Flash, or I guess ActionScript was the first language I tried to learn way back in like middle school. So that would be more than 10 years ago. Yeah, it's like 15 years ago. Back when ActionScript 3 was still a thing. And I guess Congregate was still booming. Alright, add attack. So we need to grab... Oh, using party rotations, entities, attacks. Now we have an abstract attack that we can just slap into here. So this is an abstract attack. Something. And then this one is pretty easy, right? Screen, call deferred, add child, attack. There we go. Do I still have the concept of a screen, or what is it called now? Oh, it's uppercase. Screen. I'm gonna start on ActionScript 2 myself. Yeah, well, I ended up having to drop it. Like, I liked the idea of it, but like at the time, right? Like my dad is also a programmer, but he was like, Tim, no matter what, I do not want you to become to go into programming. Yeah, it's like, well, all right, sure. And look where I am now. But at the time, he was very unsupportive. He was like even though like when I was learning Python, he was like, no, cannot help you. Sorry, I only do Java and C. And I was like, all right, and now. I think I actually work in lower level languages than him. Now he only works in Node.js and Python. Anyways, let's give this a try. I've just been talking for a little bit, but as kind of a... Oh, my eyes. Press Q. Press Q. Oh, maybe not. Was hoping first try. Maybe not. At least the shader still works. Sorry, I've been distracting you. No. I've not been really distracted, right? I think it's actually kind of cool that it's like I've been talking, but at the same time, check it out. We have something that kind of just works. Yeah, you don't have to worry about distracting me. I distract myself. If you don't distract me, I'll distract me. Oh, you know what? I need to call the base implementation. Base skill 1. Yeah. Okay, so abstract player unit. Skill 1 on cooldown. Oh, well, that still should have worked. You know what? I think I'll just BRB. Have a jump. Redeem a jump. And I'll be BRB while I use the restroom and refill my drink. Hello, hello. I have noticed that I don't usually use a chroma key, but I did update my little face tracker renderer thing to allow for me to toggle between transparent background and chroma key background. So I do need to update my screen regions, unfortunately. What a pain. What a pain. Yeah, I wish there was like, I wonder if there's a way to like, there must be like an API to hook into OBS. Right, because I like one of the really nice things that I like about Godot is that Godot has a really easy to access C API. So for example, the kind of like hexagon effect that you can kind of see going on right now is actually, you know, that's happening on my stream overlay layer, which I wrote in Godot plus a little Rust to do a little bit of keylogging. So I'm keylog, well, I guess mouse tracking myself. Hello Bumsy, how are you doing tonight? Today? Morning? Isn't it weird that there's an English word for like just today and then tonight, but it's not to morning? I wish every app had an open API. Well, I think that's there's a pretty good reason why every app doesn't, right? It's because it makes it easier to every API layer that you add adds another like attack vector, possibly. So I understand why they don't, but I think for game engines it makes sense. You know what? I'm interested. See, it's not talking. I'll find ways to distract myself. OBS API. Well, okay. There's a C# API. Is there just like a regular C API as well, or maybe C# is good enough? libos sharp or libobs. And there's also libobs sharp, which is forked and is slightly more up to date. Ooh, interesting. Isn't there a remote API? I don't really know. I'm looking at this actually. How many windows I have open? One of these. So this is in C#, but luckily you can mix C# and GDScript in the same project. You can actually mix as many languages as you want, since there are Lua bindings to Godot, Rust bindings, some somewhat old Go bindings. I know that there's Clojure bindings, which is wild. I mean, Kotlin and Java bindings. Yeah. I wonder. I'm looking at it. I never really understand folder structures for C# or Java style projects. I tried to do my best to be about the same, but it's not easy. Yeah, I think it'd be nice to be able to my ding ding dong. It's a classic song. Ooh. What was it? Is it the ding ding dong and then my ooh la la? It was a too la la. Hello, how are you doing, Philippe? Have a jump. Tra la la. Look at that. People just kind of slowly stream in while I'm streaming. That's an intentional pun, 100%. Yeah, so what I'm trying to work on right now for all the newcomers is this. So the biggest change from, I guess, the last time I showed this off is that one, I've implemented a shader to just do, I guess, palette swaps automatically, which is pretty cool in my opinion. It looks a bit jittery, so I need to find a way to like reduce the jitter somehow. Don't really know the best way to do that since it is pixel perfect. So of course there is going to be some jitter when they move, but I don't know. Right now I'm trying to implement I guess attacks. So this is a big rewrite of my GD script game jam game. So let's see, GD print. So instead of actually debugging it, let's just add a print statement, my favorite kind of debugging. Boing. That's not working. Okay, so that's good. Is this not hooked up? Am I crazy? No, it is hooked up. So this should be QWER. Is it being caught? I have some shaders for that, but how do you do pixel perfect? Oh, so are you ready? So there's actually not too much documentation for how to do like pixel perfect games, but this is what I found. So to do pixel perfect in Godot, you want to set your resolution or your width and your height to your intended pixel resolution. So this is what it is. And you can actually change this pretty easily, right? So I believe this is just, if I type in 192, right? That's my intended display width, and then I can type in divided by 5, and then I'll get back to this value. How neat. Yeah, it's just built-in. And then your test width. I thought test width was just like check to see if we can go this high. But no, test width actually just expands, it stretches your window out to that width. Yeah, and then you need to change stretch mode to viewport, not 2D. Viewport will keep your pixelization, whereas 2D will try to smooth everything out. And then change your aspect ratio to keep. But right now I just have it as expand. Yeah, changing the resolution doesn't affect the way the game is going to behave in 920 by 1080 screen. The thing is, you need to move pixels anything smoothly. I don't know. I mean, it is technically pixel perfect. That's what the jitter comes from. Changing the resolution. So changing the resolution changes how I guess you can pick things on screen, since I'm moving to specific screen positions. Right, I can actually demonstrate that right now. So if I change this to keep, which I was trying to actually work around, because I do want to keep the same screen resolution so my UI doesn't break. But you can see here that when we do keep, we're now actually oh, are we not slightly offset anymore? Did I accidentally fix it? No, see, now this is more, no, so the black bars are intentional, right? Because we're keeping the same aspect ratio. But you can kind of see here that this is wrong. For some reason, it's taking my mouse inputs and then kind of offsetting it like that, which is weird. So that's why, like, instead of doing like true pixel perfect, like same screen resolution all the time, I'm just allowing the screen resolution to change slightly with expand. I'm not sure how that's going to work with my UI or level design, because expand means that I can stretch it as much as I want, I guess. So you can see here that now we're getting pixel perfect screen movement. Can't use a shader for pixel perfect. That's not really what that means, I think. I guess you could, yeah. You know what? Yeah, I guess you could, right? You could assign like the number of pixels that you want it to be, and then just kind of roll your colors into each pixel, I guess. But anyways, this is pixel perfect, at least in Godot terms. Anyways, and then there's also the palette swap shader that I constructed from someone else's shader. And actually, I think that palette swap shader, I've made that open source, possibly. I forget if I pushed that code or not. Let me see, snippets. Yeah, here we go. So my palette swap shader, which is written in just GD scripts, because it's very simple. Pretty much the entirety of its processing is done in the shader, but it allows you to kind of dynamically switch between shader params. So you have your base palette, your swap palette, and then you can then actually set and unset the palette swap. So I have a few already defined. The only problem is that you do need to I guess, manually define each and every single color that you're palette swapping between. Because that's just how shaders work. Or at least that's how shader uniforms work. So shaders, you can pack things into an array, I think. An array of vector 4s. But there's no way to pass in an array of vector 4s, I think, to a shader. Otherwise, this wouldn't be necessary. Anyways, we're trying to figure out why this isn't working. You know what? Instead of just doing this weird debug, or I guess print statement thing, let's actually use the debugger for once. Where am I? So we can move. I'm pressing all of the buttons. Yeah, you didn't include the shader in the repo? Ooh, that's where I got you. It's actually inline. It's an inline shader. So you click on the text scene, the shader is just in the text scene. It's a bit weird how Godot does some things. Like, for example, if you go into here, right? So say I want to add a new script to the background. What happens when you click on built-in script is that it does not generate a new GD script file. It actually stores the script inside of the text scene file, which is just kind of bizarre. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of doing that, but I think I have heard that, I guess, less technical people like it because there's less files around, which I guess I understand. Let me see. Switch. If cute skill is not... Wait. I think this is wrong. This logic looks wrong. So unhandled input. So I think most likely it is receiving... Wait. What? Yeah, no, this piece of code is completely wrong. What what is this? I'm looking at it. I'm just flabbergasted. How did I make this work before? How do I queue skills? Wait. Who wrote this? How did I do this before? I'm starting to lose my mind. Wait a minute. I got my code pulled up on my other monitor. Unhandled events. Okay, so in the player line. Yeah. Current unit is skill 1 on CD. Current unit is skill 2 on CD. Skill 3. Okay, so these are all correct, right? So if I set a breakpoint here, I should be able to see that it works. We'll wait for it. I don't know why it doesn't bring it to the forefront. Yeah, there we go. So we hit it. Queued skill, skill 1. Sure, send it. Okay, so that works. That's cool. But then we're never hitting this part. So current unit queued skill. I don't know. I mean, let's queue the skill. Very good. So this is the current unit. We can step over. And then we can look at this. My message didn't get deleted, right, because of a link? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, accurate pixel sprite filtering. Yeah, I don't really have too many automod rules set up. I also don't have Nightbot to like filter out links because I am in the process of writing my own Nightbot implementation. You know, as someone in chat has let me know before, I do have an unfortunate case of, you know, not made here syndrome. I do like to just re-implement a lot of stuff myself. Mostly because I think it's an interesting exercise, right? I mean, that's one of the beauties of programming is that, you know, you can basically do whatever you want. Yeah, also Twitch is cooler when it deletes a message. Is it? Do you mean less cool? I'm very confused as to why this isn't working, by the way. No. YouTube, on the other hand, no, it's more flexible. I'm confused by your assertion. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I get you. Yeah, Twitch allows you to undelete it. Yeah, sometimes. Depends on if it's AutoMod who catches it or if it's Nightbot who like moderates it, right? Whereas I guess YouTube just deletes it. Yo, you know YouTube's like stream API is just absolutely wild, right? So for example, let's get distracted again. So this program connects to both the Twitch chat IRC API, which is WebSockets, makes sense, and then also connects to the Twitch chat pub sub API, and that kind of hooks into the channel point rewards that you can kind of see here. So we can do things like this, we can chonk, jump, something like that, and just make everyone jump around. I don't like me anymore. I like you. So you should like yourself. Anyways, let's randomize you, I guess. You can be transparent because of the green screen. I'm not upside down. I got you. Got you. How can I like myself? I don't know. I think most people deal with it using alcohol. Now I can like myself again. All right, very good. I'm glad it was an easy solution. Anyways, but so to connect to both Twitch APIs, it's a WebSockets connection, which is just fancy TCP. Whereas I was looking at the YouTube documentation in order to, you know, also write a backend if I ever needed to like jump over to YouTube for whatever reason. Did you know like YouTube's chat API is just a lot of GET requests? So whenever you want to get a new chat message and pull it into your program, you just need to fire off another GET request. That's insane. Why would you not want to stream the data or keep it like an open connection? It's crazy. And did you know that's also how Discord does it as well? Like if you want to connect to a Discord chat server, it's just a GET request. It's crazy. Like it's a chat application, right? So I think, I don't know, like I don't work in that field, but I do work with a lot of like integration points, right? And when you're streaming data, it makes sense to open a connection and hold on to the connection, right? But YouTube and Discord, both of them for their chats, you just have to like request new data like every few seconds, I guess. They do it on purpose, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a bad idea, but I don't work for Google, so maybe I should start doing that, and then maybe I'll be Google qualified. I work too efficient. I'm too efficient. My Discord bot has to do that to update a message channel for amount of players online. Oh baby, check this out. I wrote a Discord bot as well. This one's in Golang. Let's see. I hope it still works. I haven't tested it in a little bit. So I think Cowsay should still work. Yeah, look at that. And then I also have something so I can update the stream info just using the bot controller, etc. And so it works off using a Go CLI library that I just kind of, I read the input stream, split it, and then kind of suppress the output somewhere else. So this is one of the fancier bots I've seen, if only because I wrote it. Anyways. Server lags, you get huge delays. Yeah, well, I suppose that's the same for anything, right? If the server lags and you have like a WebSocket connection, you're still gonna get the same delay as with a GET request. Is just the fact that you need to open a new connection and then close the connection with a GET request, as opposed to a WebSocket connection which just keeps it open. It says post for the game scores to help encourage others to come online. Oh baby. You know what? I think it might be this line, by the way. Let's stop talking about this thing. Let's get rid of that. I heard people use Telegram, Elements, WhatsApp to use as a protocol like file transfer and many others. You know, someone I was talking to before, and also check this out. It's not working, huh? So app devs prevented it from happening. I think someone I was talking to, they were saying that they were making kind of an API integration with Facebook. And they were noticing like really high slowdowns whenever they're trying to like scrape a page for some data. And they looked at like the few slowdowns they have, and it turns out that Facebook doesn't have a message limit on like the page descriptions. So one page just had like a book in its description. So I was like, wow, here's an idea. That's free storage, baby. That's free storage. I love it. Also, we're not hitting unhandled input. So there's a few reasons for this. Is it because of background? It could be this one. It could be background is eating my input. It could also be that viewport container is eating my input as well. Or maybe we do want viewport container to eat my input. Be storage everywhere though. Yeah, pretty much anywhere that gives you like unlimited like text storage or unlimited like text size fields. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Kind of mangles it though. Yeah, anything that gives you unlimited text storage, that's just free storage. And not secured, well, it's okay. Where else am I gonna store my dojins? Serialized in byte format. I don't actually download any dojins, I'll have you know. I stream them like a sensible person. Anyways, it works. I need to figure out why it's not. Well, one, the rotation is completely incorrect. Initial position. I wonder if it has. If I need to assign a speed to it. OMG, lol. OMG, my BFF Jill. I like totally. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the few times that I've talked to someone who had a Valley Girl accent, I think it was like a dude that had a Valley Girl accent. It was very weird. He wasn't even from California. And there were two girls. I just was losing my mind when I was talking. I was like, it's no way you actually talk like that, right? I suppose like I also have an accent. I guess when I talk normally. When I talk on stream, I try to maintain more of a neutral weatherman accent, so that's more of a Pennsylvania or Ohio, Central US, not Midwest accent. I'm trying to remember, what does a Midwest accent sound like? Probably shouldn't talk about this. I got in trouble the last time I was talking about accents. Some people took offense. Let me see, process, bum. How do I? Oh no. Did I define this inside of an animation player? I really hope I didn't. So, oh no, I did. I did. Your accent's really nice, a clear one. Well, that's because I do try to speak a bit more clearly when I'm on stream. You know, I think if I can kind of relax my accent, and then this is kind of how I talk in real life, right? You know, hey, my name is Tim Ewan. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Currently work as a software consultant for No, a big open source company. Well, would you like a sweet tea with that? Something like that. Get you some sweet tea from Atlanta. That's how you know that you're from you're an old person from the South, is that you say it Atlanta without saying any of the T's. I say Atlanta without saying any of the T's for some reason. I think in my proper accent I try to say it Atlanta. At least pronounce the last T. Do you know Japanese? I know what the character looks like. It's Skoshi. 我会说一点点中文和会说一点点日本日本狗。Alright, you know what? I think the spear thrust is actually, yeah. This thing. Oh, this is how I did it, yeah. Is that, oh no. Okay, so we need to take out the default animation, I think. Okay, that's not Japanese, okay. 私の名前は Tim です。よろしく。今日はゲームを作ります。I actually do you use Scuddy? Scuddy is uses the Chinese character for do, but I don't remember if you can use it in the same way as the Chinese character. Kawaii desu ne. Desu ne. Baka. I don't know. You know, I suppose if I pitch my voice up, I can hit you with the Kawaii desu ne. Desu yo. Something like that. Did you like it? You know what? What if we go back? Undo me. Undo me. Bring me back. Okay. We'll do a new run animation. And then here's... Baka. Yeah. My spoken Chinese is pretty bad. Mostly because I don't really speak Chinese all that much. Parents just never taught me. As weird as that might sound. Because I know that some people are kind of weirded out. That's like, oh, you're Chinese, but you don't speak. And I was like, yeah, don't speak. Don't really know how to say anything either. I did teach myself how to read though, so I guess that's cool. Call it 30. We'll call it goes 30 out. Lock it in here, and then when you go all the way back, like so. And so when you run it, boing. Okay, and then let's do a ease in, maybe just an in out, right? Yeah. I don't like how Chinese sounds. I like their songs out of this world. Well, it depends. Which Chinese are you talking about, right? Like I speak, or I can somewhat understand standard Mandarin. I guess Beijing Mandarin or Shanghai Mandarin. My parents speak a weird amalgamation of Malaysian Mandarin and Hong Kong Mandarin, which is really just like Mandarin mixed with Hokkien and then Mandarin mixed with Cantonese. Which is just absolutely horrible to listen to, by the way. Very difficult to understand. Alright, so this is a reset, and then this... Oh no, yeah, see, this is why I didn't want to do this. Okay. So... Okay. Okay, let's think of a better solution then. Let's take out this. This is going to break this one, because now we just have the reset track. Let's create a new run animation. Song still folk. It's somewhat magical. I don't know. I think Chinese songs are weird. That's my hot take for tonight. I have no idea how to listen to a Chinese song. I think from what I hear, you just need to like even like normal, like native-born Chinese people don't really understand what a song is about. Because when you're singing, you lose Chinese. Mandarin is a tonal language, as well as Japanese and Vietnamese. Those are all tonal. I think Korean's also tonal, but I don't know any Korean, so I think the most Korean I understand is 감사합니다. Shibai. That's a good one. That's a good one. I think that's like I think that's means something like the F-bomb in English, or is it more like it means damn? I don't know. Need to head to bed. Thanks for the chat. Good luck rest of the stream. Oh, thank you, thank you. Take it easy, Alex Hicks. Good luck on your early access game. Let's see. Initial position, initial rotation. This should have worked, I think. Right, so initial position. Maybe it's this thing that got messed up. So the global position is being set correctly, but the initial rotation... I follow you on Twitter if you want to check out the game sometime. Alright, you know what? Let's give you a follow back. If I got a notification at least. I have no idea. How does Twitter work? Oh, there we go. Look at that. Follow for follow, etc, etc. I looked over Nim Lang, so I liked it. Just another rabbit hole to go down. Just another rabbit hole. It's a scary place. There's so many languages out there, but not enough time. I'm trying to figure out why this isn't working. So, what is CCOL? You can compile it to JS. What's CCOL? Let's get distracted again. CCOL Lang. I'm not familiar. Are you talking about Nim? Nim can compile it to JS, yeah? Something like that? Where's the Nim expert in chat when you need them? There's like a Juan, Carl something. Who does a lot of Nim development. Sometimes he's in chat. So this should have worked. What if I just do... Actually, wait a minute. So the player line, right? So the player line, which contains all your player units, has the viewport. Yes. Haha. Okay. So viewport. Get mouse. Hello? Code completion, please. Mouse. Here. Oh. It's line. Viewport. Oh, okay. Hold on. This is a private function, so let's do public viewport, just viewport, and then only a getter for the private viewport function. Look at that. So line viewports, get mouse position, and then angle to point. So hopefully this should use the same viewports. Otherwise, I don't really know what's gonna happen. No, that's wrong. What's going on? Why is it spawning it like that? So I think the rotation is also incorrect, yeah? Oh, because it's, if I do this, yeah, see? This is one of the problems with doing I guess like this kind of weird stretching and scaling thing. So you can kind of see here that I can manipulate the position if I just kind of stay inside this box here. And it's also processing everything from, I guess, the 0 position. So it's drawing everything from this position up here. Huh. Do you have an extra viewport? I do have an extra viewport. But see, I thought this would work, right? Because I'm using this same viewport for moving. Oh, hold on. I forgot. I forgot. No, it's not the extra viewport. It's because I need to apply the scale factor and the half viewport size factor as well. Yeah. No, because get viewport, this thing here will just get the nearest viewports. Returns the new node's viewport, right? So you can see that I have this screen layout here. They capture different mouse positions. Yeah, but so it's this viewport here that I'm using that's currently just stretched out. Right, so the mouse positions for both are more or less the same. The problem is actually that I'm not applying the scale factor, you know, and I'm also not snapping it. So that's actually a bit tough. Yeah, the viewports aren't, the viewport doesn't really matter in this instance because it's the same scale. It's just 1:1. I just prefer to have separate viewports because it does help in some games. If you want to have, I guess, a pixelated display but have the UI still be normal sized. But this won't work. This won't work. I need to grab the scale factor and the half viewport size. So let's expose these variables as well. Oh, this is my favorite part. I love doing this. I don't know why. Writing getters and setters, I don't know, it just awakens like the inner Java developer in me. I used to do this. I used to have to do this all the time, but now I can choose when I want to do it. Because I am no longer beholden to the tech lead. I am the tech lead now. You know what? Maybe I could just have a function that wraps all of this together somewhere else. Maybe I can just have this on the line, and then the line is just my weird singleton. The line is already kind of a weird singleton, to be fair. Yo, this song sounds like something I would make. Yeah, it is more or less a global bar, yeah. Right, so this is our app manager, and then we just have our main display and our player line. So you know what, maybe it might make sense to have, well, yeah, maybe it might make sense to have the main display have this, and then we just have like a get position inside of the main display. So we can just request maybe on every single frame, we have the main display like updates your current mouse position, and then we can just read it from there. And because it's JIT, I hope that that's basically just a one operation thing, just a read. I don't remember if that's the case though. I know in GDScript it's more than one op, since GDScript isn't optimized. Yeah, maybe that may make sense. So we have our main display, we have something just on every single frame. Store your current mouse position somewhere. I don't know how I feel about that. That'll work though. I don't know how I feel about that. I suppose. So we do all of this, right? So we can we'll just have like a current mouse position. This feels weird. This feels like a really weird workaround. Make a global get mouse position. No. Absolutely not. I think this is what I'm gonna do. I think this is what I'm gonna do. So I feel like I need to move some things around. Like this viewport stuff should probably be handled by the main display, and then on every single frame, the main display will update your mouse position in my app manager, because it's my singleton. Yeah, you know what? I think okay, we're doing it. I've convinced myself. I've said it twice now, therefore it must be correct. So public override void. Actually, this can actually just be in regular process. So it's some sort of float delta. Yeah. I think it's just easier to incur the cost, right? Just run it every single frame, as opposed to sometimes we'll need to access the function, sometimes we won't. This way we just run it every single frame. Who cares? You know, it's something that we need. And also, I'm also just have this kind of working like this. So I don't think that this stuff should be on the player line anyways. That seems kind of weird. I do need to have this code here. So main display should work just fine. On screen resized. Let's add this, I guess here. That looks pretty good. On screen resize, bum bum bum. So we can then comment out this function. So we're just moving everything over to the main display, as opposed to things being just handled locally inside of the player line object. And now this all breaks, but that's fine. Get rid of this. And then in App Manager, we can just get, you know, public, static. Gotta love my static functions. Shout out to everyone who likes to use singletons. So this is just current mouse position. So this is just get set. I feel like that shouldn't be a get set, but whatever. And then here, inside of player line, we'll do app, or not player line, inside of main display, we'll do app manager, current mouse position is equal to this calculation here. Look at that, it's beautiful. And by beautiful, I mean it's just absolutely horrible. So that should work, right? And then comment this out, slap it back in, and we'll just make a call. We'll just read from the app manager current mouse position. So we don't want to, I feel like we don't want to do that inside of app manager, but maybe we do. It's hard to say if app manager will have a viewport ready. It might. You know what? You know what? It might have a viewport ready already. Yeah, before we get too spicy with it, let's keep it like this. Let's stick with what I'm pretty sure I know will work. I'm pretty sure this will work. Right, so let's test. Please don't crash. Hard crash. Alright, so that's one of the problems, is that sometimes you'll just null pointer. So in main display 21, I gotta sneeze. Sorry. Alright, so get tree connect. Oh, right. This shouldn't be here. This needs to be in the ready function. There we go. No more null pointers. Yeah, alright, so this still works, and then that's still wildly jacked up. Looks okay though. Godot is kind of struggling with rendering it. That's okay. The rotation's kind of weird. I think. I think actually hard to say. Actually, wait a minute. Is the rotation actually correct? Hold on. Oh, the rotation's totally correct. Yeah. It's just because my mouse is super offset. So if I rotate around my player, yeah, it is correct. It's just not instancing in the thing correctly. So, in the abstract attacks ready function, why is the global position not being set correctly? So initial position, right, is our global position. Okay. Let's set a breakpoint here. And actually, before we do that, let's try to move this over to the app manager. We're starting to generate a bunch of garbage, but that's fine. So, say goodbye to all of this stuff. What did I need viewport here for? Oh, it's for the palette swapping. And also for changing the viewport stuff. Okay, cool. So that's fine. Alright, so we say goodbye to scale factor and half of viewport size. We will move this to the app manager. So this is a private function. We'll have a process function in our app manager because I feel like that just makes more sense if we're going to be doing something like that. And then here we need to comment out this so we no longer have the errors show up. Here, grab comments, and then in the ready function in app manager. I wonder if this will work. I'm not sure if it will. Override avoid ready. Just hit it with some of these. So let's try it one more time, and then we'll figure out why the attacks aren't spawning at the player position correctly. Every time. So at process 65. Oh, it's because I'm trying to call myself. Okay. All right, and then this does present an opportunity as well, right? Because now we don't need to do a get set. Now we can just have a get request. All right, hold on. App manager CS65, object reference not set to an instance of an object. So 65, it's one of these. It's probably the viewport, if I had to guess. You know, it is 100% the viewport. Okay. So what if we just do viewport is equal to get viewport? So this will be the root viewport. Yeah, that's fine. Since I'm not changing the resolution of the root viewport, I think that's fine. And then we kind of mess with the screen resolution, it still works. All right, and the rotation is correct. It's just the global position now. Okay, so this is a slightly, there is a setting for which part? I've said many things. Handle input locally or something? Yeah, well, it's fine. I'm just using the root viewport anyways. Current mouse position, right? So this will be a vector 2, and actually we should probably initialize this as a vector 2, 0. Yeah. I feel like I've used handle input locally before, but I usually just turn it off. We don't need that. Current mouse position. There we go. So now it's just a getter, or it's just a getter. Oh baby. I deleted my viewports because I couldn't figure it out. Well, here's what a lot of people miss with viewports, and I also missed this until there was someone in chat who helped me out. So this one, if you want to be able to click on physics objects, you need to turn on object picking. That's a very important one. And I think GUI disable input is also somewhat important if you're rendering your GUI inside of the viewport for whatever reason. Let's see, viewport container, always remember to turn this on, and also remember to turn off the mouse filter. Always gave me the wrong mouse position. I don't know. This one appears to be giving me the correct mouse position, so I'll take it, I guess. You know, now I just need to, well, fail to build project solution. What did I do? What happened? Core object error property index cannot be assigned. It is read only. Did I not save this? Hello? What? Alright. Whoop. Now it's very wrong. Now it's very wrong. Screen local to world local. Yeah, it's tough. Oop. Alright, so now it's no longer scaling correctly. Did I change something I shouldn't have? I think I changed something I shouldn't have. And now something is very broken. It used to be working. Just leave this as a get set. What happened here? No, this was working though. Was this not working? Hold on. So this is the problem I was kind of alluding to before, where when you're trying to do pixel perfect, you do need to, I guess, remember to convert your screen scale factor up to whatever your screen resolution is. But now it's broken? What did I do? Here. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Was I accidentally still using this stuff? Yeah, do update the screen rect when the window resizes? Yeah, I am doing that, right? I am doing that. I wonder. I have the sinking feeling that I was doing. I was still using the main display code. That's what I think I was probably doing. Right, so if we run this again, it's still gonna work. But just like that, so this is the problem I ran into before. Yeah, okay. And then this one doesn't work because I don't have the correct viewports. So that's tough, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. I don't know. I mean, easiest solution is we get rid of all of this, and then we just have the main display handle updating the current mouse position. And then we don't even need to have any of these. Get rid of this. Everything's good. We bring back these functions. All right, so we can't have it at the app manager level. We must have it at the main display level, so that's fine. Yeah, I mean, this will work. It's not the greatest, but it'll work. Yeah, there we go. Now I just need to figure out why everything, like this keeps spawning at the middle. Like the rotation is correct. It's just it doesn't spawn at the unit position. So I wonder if the unit position is incorrect whenever we create it. So if we go into player spearman, look at the global position, we'll start the debugger from within VS Code. Look at this. So we, oh, okay. Send it. Then boom. What is our global position? Is there a way to give me hover hints? I like having hover hints. Oh, it does. Give me a hint. All right, it gives me a hint for objects, but not this one. What is this? What is this is global position. So your global position is 66 whatever by 16. Okay, so we go here. Is it still 66 whatever by 16? No, this is your global position now. Yeah, so your global position has changed. So your the attack's initial position should also have changed accordingly, right? So if we go to abstract attack, the global position should be the initial position that we set here, right? And then that shouldn't make a huge difference. So let's set a breakpoint here. Now we're just being accosted by the enemy. All right, so what is our? This is this. Global position 0. Okay, and then we step. Yeah, global position negative 117 to negative 8. Okay, nothing happens. And then it just spawns in the middle. What are you doing? That's tough. That's tough. So, let me see. 0, 0, correct? No. Well, because we can try it again, right? So if I set a breakpoint here, we can actually peek at what value we're assigning to it. So this should be like some positive global position, I think. Yeah, 159, negative 67 for the global position, and then we step over. We can see our global rotation has also changed. But for some reason, it's not actually applying the global position correctly. And so if we can also put another breakpoint here in our process function and see what happens. So you see now our global position got updated once again to be zeroed out for some reason. Yeah, so there's something that's zeroing out the global position. I don't know what. Like it makes sense that, you know, it's here. Oh. Please, I would like to look at it, good sir. Maybe not. That's fine. All right. Enjoy your day. So there's something that's, I am setting the global position correctly. Oh, is it? Please don't let it be the animation player. Oh no, it is. Wait, no. It might be. It might be the animation player. It might be the animation player. Now I'm looking at it. What happens if I do this? I just get rid of this key, and then I just move the sprites and the collision shape instead. So that means I need to, I guess, change the node hierarchy, right? So each base attack, I guess I would need to move both the sprites and the collision shape. Or I can choose to reparent the entire, I guess, the entire thing. I could. Right, so instead of abstract shape having an area 2D as its root node, I can make abstract attacks be node 2Ds. And then I can just move the entire area 2D. You know what? I think that's what I have to do, unfortunately. All right, that's gonna suck. Okay. Why don't you? Yeah. So I think that's the problem, right? So I can demonstrate that why I think that's the problem. So I have been keying the root node, but what I think is happening is that I'm actually, so this is working, right? Global position is set to the initial position. That's correct. However, whenever the animation player starts playing, it resets the position back to 0 for whatever reason, which is incorrect. It's incorrect. So that's why the position is being set incorrectly, is because it's the animation player is resetting the position back to 0. So I can demonstrate that I think this is correct by doing this. I'll key both of these. Probably not the rotation. Then we'll also key here. And then here, we want to move out to somewhere like there. I don't know. Let's just do this manually. So transform. This needs to be 30. So we'll key that. Give me a key. Please key. Okay. 30. Right, and then same for the collision shape. We'll key this out to 30. And then, I don't know why I'm even doing this, because I'm going to be changing this. Do you have a setting for local animation or root motion? I'm not sure. I don't really mess with those options too often. But I'm pretty sure that this will fix it, right? So we do this, boom. Yeah, see, that's now it's fixed, right? Now it works, yeah. So my assumption was correct, is that the animation player, for whatever reason, it's resetting the local position. Well, not for whatever reason. I know why it's resetting the local position. Is this gonna work? Maybe not. Also, there's no cooldown on the spears, so you can just mash Q and then press primary fire as fast as possible. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know about you. That's skill, yeah. Look at that. I got the StarCraft APM. I'm actually very, very bad at well, no. I think the economy part of StarCraft 2 I'm very bad at, but I guess the unit control part, very good. Or not very good, but better than average. But the economy part, I need someone to tell me what to do. I don't understand. Anyways, I think that works. So now what I need to do is this. I need to reparent everything. So this will now be abstract attack. This is now an area 2D. And this is now, oh, you hate to see that. Now this is the scene roots. Yeah, there we go. It's now, all the scripts are kind of broken now. That's unfortunate. So this needs to be C#. We'll load it in. And now we need to change it here. So this is now a node 2D. And then now we need to cache the... Well, maybe we don't need to cache it, right? We can do... We'll do just a long get node area 2D. Of course, this is pretty easy, area 2D. Connect on body entered, boom, boom. So I think that's the only thing I need to change. I don't even need to cache the area 2D. The only problem now is that I need to remake the entire spear thrust, because now the entire node is different. What a pain. Alright, so run. And so now, this should be pretty easy, is now we can just keyframe it like this. Oh, hold on. Sprite needs to be this one. The collision shape also needs to change to be rectangle shape. What did I make it before? It was like 4. No, this is like, yeah, that's 4, and then this is like 16. Something like that. The sprite needs to move up by half so that it actually fits inside of the container. Right, save all that. Keyframe. Yeah. Or keyframe this. Send it. Keyframe here. Send it. Then halfway through, we will move the area 2D node. And this is why I really like Godot, is that I think this method of doing, I guess, node hierarchies makes a lot of sense to me. You know, it's very object oriented in practice. All right, so now this will work. Look at that. Send it. Ah! All right, hard crash. That's good. Abstract attack ready. Abstract attack 32. 32. Get animation. Oh, now this is. This needs to be area 2D animation player. Yeah, there we go. One more time. One more time. I believe. Yeah, there we go. And so every single unit has, so I can switch units and you can kind of see that they try to like move to the end of the line. Or they actually just swap places in the line, something like that. And they all have the same skill because they're all just instanced in as spearmen. Yeah, I think that's not bad. And then we can see here that I can swap the color palette. How cool. Wait. What? What? Why isn't it working anymore? So I can still swap, but when I swap the color palette back, it must be on this color palette for me to use skills, but if I swap it to the blue color palette, it no longer works. What? What did I do? What a weird case. What a weird like edge case to have. That doesn't make any sense. So if we go to our main display, palette swap, that shouldn't do anything. Viewport again? I don't think so. I don't think so. It might be. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out later. That's tough though. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to think about that. Anyway, let's commit my work. It might be the viewport. I highly doubt it's the viewport though, because all the palette swap function does is just change the shader params. And also, I'm still able to switch units. So I'm not sure. I'll have to investigate further. Let's commit our work. Add basic attacks. Push. Unfortunately, this code is more or less private, but the original GD script code is free and open source, available under Apache 2 license if you're interested in looking at it. Also, it's available on my itch.io page. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Thanks all for tuning in. I will be live tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Working on a game at some point. Probably this one again. Maybe not. I don't know. Probably this one though. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. I have a Discord in my description below. Also, a lot of free and open source projects also on my Discord below, like this one. Also made in Godot. Also this one, made in Godot. So if you're a streamer, you might like this. If you're a streamer, you might like this. Who knows? Or if you like to, a lot of Zoom calls you need to appear on, you can be an anime girl, I guess, if you're into that. All of those available on my GitHub below. Join the Discord. Give my stuff stars on GitHub. I said GitHub too many times. I don't know. You want to find someone to raid? Let's find someone to raid. Who's doing Godot? Who's doing, let's see, Godot, Engen. So there's Jitspo, but Jitspo has a lot of people. Let's do, yeah, I don't know. Looks like there's a Wyatt. Let's send it. I feel like I've raided this channel before, but I don't know. Let's they do have like a little VTuber kind of thing, so maybe that'll be cool. If you're into VTubers anyways. Alright, anyways, we're rating Wyatt 1872. Thanks all for tuning in. I will be live tomorrow from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time working on another game. I will catch you later. Goodbye.
More so than... Oh, there's a raid. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Oh, God. But yeah, they would, in terms of partner versus affiliate, they would hold you more accountable as a partner, for sure. So if you got caught streaming to YouTube at the same time, they would be harder on you. Hello, team, you win. Oh, everybody's waiting for the Godot thing, right? Since about time. Did you notice